Born in 1794, Cornelius Vanderbilt, the patriarch, was a man carved from the rugged timbers of early America. A force of nature, with raw, untamed ambition and a foul-mouthed, combative spirit, he was the epitome of the Gilded Age tycoon. His descendants were humble Dutch farmers who had settled on Staten Island generations earlier. His father was a responsible farmer and boatman. His mother, Phoebe Hand, was a woman of unflinching character and frugality. Cornelius inherited the legacy of his tenacity and early wealth. He was a child with little enthusiasm for school. Throughout his life, he struggled to read or write, but he exhibited an almost supernatural understanding of business and competition. The salt water of the harbour was his classroom, the cacophony of the docks his lecture hall. At 16, seeing opportunity where others saw only labour, he persuaded his mother to lend him $100. The loan came with one condition: he had to clear and cultivate 8 acres of rocky land alone. He accomplished this seemingly impossible task by gathering a group of local children and promising them rides on his future boat. After securing the money, he purchased the Perry Auger, a small 2-masted flat-bottomed schooner, and began a passenger and freight ferry service between the bustling towns of Staten Island and Manhattan. This was no genteel enterprise. The harbour was a brutal arena, a lawless arena where rival boatmen physically battled over fares. Tall and powerfully built, young Cornelius was capable of standing on his own 2 feet. Working from dawn to dusk, under the guise of rival bidders, he quickly earned the reputation for reliability and the nickname Commodore, which would remain with him throughout his life. The War of 1812 was his first significant win. He secured a lucrative government contract to supply garrisons around New York City. He performed this task so effectively that he began to accumulate his first real capital, a small war fund for the major wars to come. As the 19th century progressed, the hiss of the steam engine began to drown out the whisper of the sail. With extraordinary foresight, Vanderbilt saw that steam was the future of transportation. He sold his sailing fleet and plunged into the world of steamships. There, he faced his first formidable obstacle: the powerful government-sanctioned monopoly on steamship traffic in New York. The waters were held by Robert Fulton and his political connections, Robert Livingston. Anyone else would have been deterred, but Vanderbilt saw the monopoly not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity for creative destruction. He brazenly challenged it by organising a steamboat service to New Jersey under the slogan, "New Gibbons for the People." When his rival sued, he hired the brilliant lawyer Daniel Webster and took the case all the way to the Supreme Court. The landmark decision in Gibbons versus Ogden in 1824 overthrew the monopoly, opening the nation's waterways to free competition and establishing the federal government's dominance over interstate commerce. For Vanderbilt, it was a personal and financial victory that cemented his reputation as a giant killer. The following decades were marked by a series of relentless steamboat wars. On the Hudson River, along the Long Island Sound, and along the East Coast, Vanderbilt employed his signature tactic. He would enter a market, reduce the fares to unsustainable levels, and drive his rivals to the brink of bankruptcy. At that point, he would either buy them for pennies on the dollar or accept a substantial payment to move the warships elsewhere. His ambition was not limited to the East Coast. The California gold rush of 1849 sparked a mass migration, and the Commodore saw an opportunity to dominate. While his rivals focused on the arduous route through the Isles of Panama, Vanderbilt charted a rocky course. He founded the Accessory Transit Company, a shortcut across Nicaragua that involved a perilous journey up the San Juan River and across Lake Nicaragua. It was faster, cheaper, and for a time extremely profitable. earning him over $1 million a year. It was also a venture that revealed a darker side of his character. When his former partners, Charles Morgan and Cornelius Garrison, conspired to steal the company from him while he was on vacation, Vanderbilt's response was legendary. In his famous letter to them, he wrote, "Gentlemen, you have tried to cheat me. I will not sue you because the law is too slow. I will destroy you." And so he did. He set up a competitive line, slashed prices, and within 2 years forced his traitors into financial ruin.